How's it going, you glorious rascallion bastards? My name is FOXSOL. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more WutheringWaves, and we're talking more about the Mistress of Flames, the Firestar, the Immortal Blaze. That's right, we're talking about my beloved waifu, Changli, and you know what? I'm so fucking love this character so goddamn much that even my wife's goddamn fucking jealous now. Because of how much I talk about her. But in all honesty, we're going to be going ahead and breaking down my new DPS build that I'm working with her, and it's all based on raw stats. We haven't really gone through a lot, so you're going to be seeing probably a lot of different videos coming in for different test builds. If there's something you want in particular for me to try, let me know in the comments below. But today's video, this is what we're coming up with right now, and I'll give you the explanation, the reason of why I'm going this route and why it's working. So let's get into it. Ugh. Alrighty, just had to take a sip of my Dr. Pepper, and you know what? That shit bites you in the throat, man. So, taking a look at our main stats real quick. HP's at 17,000. We're still a glass cannon. I'm gonna be honest with you. Changli can take a hit, but she can't take a hit. She's a DPS. Her job is to dodge. Her job is to weave. Her job is to be healed. Okay, so we're not building a tanky DPS in any way, shape, form. We're building pure fucking attack damage. We're building something that is really going to hit hard. When it comes down to her attack, we're at 2,600. Her defense is a little bit low at 1,100 right there. It's fine. Energy regen is at 100. No big deal. But you'll notice that my crit rate is at 39.1%, and there's a reason for that, and the reason why the crit rate is also at a 285%. Looking at other stats real quick, res of skill damage bonus is at 34.5. I still want to get this up higher. I would rather have like this 22% of basic attack gone and have this around like at least a 50% margin, but it's all right. Same thing for resonant liberation damage, but it's all right. And our fusion damage bonus is at 40%. Now, with all these stats, take the looking at, right? Us looking at all these stats. I'm going to showcase that we're also at a full summon build. This means that we are summon 6. This means that we're getting the 10% increased damage. This means we're getting a crit rate of 25% for 8 seconds, 40 inflamement. This is what's we're going to be really discussing, and the reason why I have no crit rate really on Changli. This is the real reason why, is because of this. We got an 80% increased damage on our alt bonus. We're not worried about this one. When it comes to sacrifice gains, our flaming sacrifices multipliers increased by 50%, damage dealt is increased by 50%, and we also get, whether it's a skill, heavy attack, or whether it's liberation damage, we're getting the ability to ignore 40% of the target's defense when dealing damage. So a summon 6 is a very fucking powerful fucking for Changli. Okay, it's really fucking good. You could probably not have to go all that route, but you're going to see what a wailed out Changli is. When it comes to our skill tree, you can see that it is almost fully built. We have normal attack, resident skill, and intro skill that is left to be built. That should be all done next week when calamity bosses are reset. When it comes to the forte, you know, we're taking 40% damage when casting fire. We also have, you know, when Changli's in stack of inflaments is a 5% increasement on the fusion bonus, so we are got 45% there, and then we get an additional 20%. So what is that right there? That is 65% fusion damage bonus when, you know, casting any of the skills, and we're ignoring again an additional 15% of the damage of the target's damage defense dealing. So I mean, this is where all this mattered. This is the reason why my entire grind, when Changli was first shown as a leak and everything, why that moment I took the time to get all the materials, everything built, and I did it all day one after watching the video. That's why we built a calendar around what does Changli need. When it comes to echoes that we're running on her, now this is where I'm going to ask you not to look at the substats because the substats could be better. I want you to look at the raw data, the raw stats, okay? Because later on, we're going to tune these better, but as everyone knows, Echo XP, Echo tuning, everything, this can take some time to get done and to properly get, you know, and with luck and everything by your side to get great tuned echoes. This is just what I'm testing right now, and it's working wonderfully. But our Infernal Rider, instead of doing a crit rate one, we did crit damage. Havoc dead main here, instead of doing a fusion one, we did attack damage. So instead of us having a 30% increasement of fusion, we did that. The lizard fucker here, we put him as a fusion damage bonus. Originally, we had 2 of these being fusion, which we did 60%, which was doing really well. It was doing really well, but I changed it to have it to where we did a 30% on the attack. And then we never changed these, which we left these as both as attack raw stats, okay? Now, one thing that, like I said, is that this 39.1% crit rate, this does not matter. This is not going to matter whatsoever. And I want to showcase why. This is the reason why Summon 2 of Changli is really great, in my personal opinion. The second resonant skill, the attachment that you can get, is fucking god amazing. Just that fast, just going into from skill to going into inflamed, the first thing, for 8 seconds, our crit rate is at 64.1%. But what it's not telling you is that there is no cooldown to the 8 seconds. By the time you are playing, and this is whether, you know, you are straight into doing, you know, I guess you basically put like this. It doesn't matter whether or not you're summoned to whatever. As long as you're in the middle of combat with your inflamement, that 8 seconds keeps looping back. You have really no cooldown on any of your skill set, to be completely honest. Like, you're coming in, you're going to flame it, boom. That 39% turns into 64%. As long as you're in combat, this is the way I've been looking at it. I've been fighting bosses, I've been testing this out. It's probably better to do this against a boss, honestly, to showcase this better. I've been lasting, right? All the way, let's do you. I've been lasting in the middle of a boss fight, and you know, I use my enchantment, I flame it and come right back into it, and then boom, there it is. It's like it resets the 8 seconds. Every time I'm collecting a stack, I'm using a stack, I'm staying in the stacks, that 8 seconds keeps going ahead and staying on the character. It keeps resetting. So it's not like you have 8 seconds and you got a 10-second cooldown, you know? You'll see right here. 64%. Let's go ahead and just count it down to 8 seconds. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're still at 64.1%. Like, 1, 2, 3. Take a hit, 4, 5, heal her real quick. Like, she should be out of it now. 39%. And then 64%. As long as you are on the fucking boss's ass or the enemy's ass and you are just dealing damage, that 8 seconds never goes bye-bye. You're always going to have that additional 25% crit rate. That's the point that I was going to try to point in here. And that is fucking fantastic. So you don't have to have, in my personal opinion, dedicated echo at all on Changli for any kind of crit rate. That 25% extra crit rate, you can work on, you know, if you're lucky enough to get, you know, your other echoes to have a good percentage value on crit rate, it works out tremendously just well just to have it as a substat and not worry about making it a main stat. So yeah, putting everything into attack and into crit and having it to where automatically you know, because you summon her. And I'm going to say that I'm going to say that for anybody who is looking to invest, but maybe you don't want to invest that much money, this is kind of necessary. If you want to be able to do this, this is necessary. The pursuit of desires, because as long as you're in battle and as long as you're doing damage and as long as you're working her, that crit rate never disappears. It just stays on the screen until combat is completely done and it's over, or unless you use all your inflamement, you know, charges into one big burst of damage. You don't have to worry about anything. And that's where, like, I swear, this is the most fun I've had so far in WutheringWaves. I thought GN was fun originally when I was playing. No, Waifu is fucking fun. Waifu just annihilates shit. I went to Tower Adversity. I was doing shit tons of damage with several different types of builds, and it's just how she operates. It's just how she is. And doing this build, I think, honestly, is one of the better builds to use for her as make her a main DPS. It's straight up, don't worry about crit rate, worry about your crit damage, get that shit up high, get your attack up high, and just go in and annihilate. You're gonna see that there's a couple of shorts coming up where if you watch my channel that I have, that we went through the boss rush mode, and basically we just one-shot every single boss because of this build. And they were level 80s though, but still, like, we went through the boss rush, the new Stimacor, whatever it's called, event, and we were just annihilating the fuck out of things. So my idea build so far for her to be at a DPS, and I think this is exactly where I'm going to leave it. We're just going to improve it over time. You're probably going to see a couple more videos of Changli DPS builds coming up in the future. We're going to test out some other things, and we're going to discuss. So if you're interested in Changli, remember that this is a Changli main channel. I'm putting it that way. We are going to operate, and we're going to work to make sure that this channel is only really dedicated to Changli. We're going to showcase other characters and such, but we're going to put our effort on everything Changli. So for my first true DPS test build, like, well, actually, this ain't the first one. This is like the third one. We are getting somewhat better. And I'll tell you what, if there is someone in the comments, you know, you're watching this video, you got something that's a better idea you believe that you're testing, that you think that I should try, let me know. I'm more than willing to go ahead and just be like, yeah, let's go ahead and try anything, because I want to see what we can improve on, you know, main stat wise, weapon wise, you know. You tell me. But I think so far that this is honestly probably one of the best builds that I have went through. And I'm not doing no research. I'm not looking at anyone else's builds or anything. I just sat at work, yeah, basically doing absolutely fucking nothing, and just tuning echoes and saying, well, let's try this echo. Let's try, you know, one fusion echo element and the other being attack, and just put nothing but crit damage and, you know, an attack on her and see what we get at. And I am heavenly surprised with the damage output. I feel like this is honestly one of the most optimal base builds there is. I think the only way this could be any fucking better is if I had two big boss monsters, two fusion bosses, which if future-wise they get another one, and I would turn it into a 4-4-1-1-1 and turn the second boss monster into the attack.
Make it fast.
And then at that point in time, we would have pretty high attack on her. She should be like close to like 3,000-ish on her attack. And then with the crit rate and with her ignoring everything on their defense multiplier, I mean, god damn, we'll be just creating a fucking nuke at that point. So with new echoes coming out in the future and how things are, I can't wait to see what other builds and other things we can do. But this right now is my main DPS build so far. This is, I feel, is the best DPS build so far that I've tested in the last couple of days, and has been working so well for me that it's beautiful. It's just goddamn fucking beautiful, and I love it. I fucking love it. Granted, she's still a glass cannon, but she's pretty damn fucking goddamn hyped up when you see shit like this. Like, I thought Jianxi with all her multiplier bonuses and everything was fucking good. Nah, I think that Changli just takes the cake. This is my waifu. You know what? My wife, I put it like this. She got herself a week to go ahead and start cosplaying this.
Make it fast.
I'll put it that way. But otherwise, guys, yeah, tell me down below in the comments below what your thoughts is about Changli, what your builds are. Give me ideas. Help me with some build ideas, you know? What should I be trying in your personal opinion? And I'll try it. You know? I'm looking at this in a way that I want to get community involvement with people. I want, you know, to work together, and I want, you know, get people's suggestions. I want people's ideas. You know, what's working for you that I'm not even looking at that might work better for me. Maybe you got a 50-50 build that would be better than what I'm doing. But other than that, yeah, this is the build that we're going with. This is what we're going to be improving on throughout the next couple of weeks. And we're going to do what we can to make sure that our Mistress of Flames is kicking ass and taking fucking names. So I will see you guys on the next video. Take it easy, have a good one, and catch you on the flip side. Peace.